right now we know that, if we want an issue dealt with electricity, we have to go somewhere. Corporation, we need to go somewhere else. Street lights, we need to go somewhere. Water, we need to go somewhere else. So the concept that Mr. Sundararaman is actually going to present is a common civic portal for the city of Chennai.
How we are planning to address all these issues with one single portal. So some of these are perennial issues for Chennai, like garbage, potholes, street light switched on during daytime, blocked roads, uncovered ditches, etc. But when we have something like this, the media pays attention and then they are immediately addressed. But all other issues, they are all perennial issues, and then even after closing, they appear after some time. So these issues, how are they handled as on date? If we see, we have different mechanisms. Immediately people write letters to the editor, maybe Hindu or Mylapore, the local newspaper, they write letters to the editor, and some of the times some of the issues get sorted out. And most of the time the person who writes the complaints, his ego may get boosted, but most of the time, most of the issues are not addressed and closed. Or sometimes we have something like a complaint cell, and then sometimes organization like Metro Water, they conduct a grievance camp, and then sometimes you have the residents association, they form a meeting, and then finally in the minutes of the meeting they jot down all their complaints and then take it to the authorities concerned. But what are the limitations of this kind of present system? Primarily, all these are ad hoc systems. And when I say ad hoc systems, most of them are not closed. So whenever something is closed, then people acknowledge saying that my letters to editor was addressed by this civic authority or something like that. But most of them, they are not addressed. And they are also incomplete in nature. For example, if a pothole is addressed, probably again after 2 weeks that will come back. For example, whoever is residing near St. Mary's Road and C.P. Ramaswamy Road, they are aware of a perennial problem. So there is a road cave-in happening in the junction of C.P. Ramaswamy Road and St. Mary's Road. Every month it will appear, and then they will try to dump all concrete blocks, and again after a month it will appear. And they are incomplete in nature, and these kind of issues, the grievance redressal, it's a time-consuming process, and again it's a non-transparent system. We don't know how many roads are having potholes, how many are addressed, and what is the criticality of the issues. As on date, we don't have any system to assess what are all the issues as on date. And again, the authorities concerned, probably they are also not motivated. Even after attending that, no one is going to acknowledge them, and probably from the office or from public civic society, they may not get motivated, because nothing is transparent here in this system. So what I am proposing is, a single sign-on portal which would address all the civic issues, whether it is Metro Water or Electricity Board or Corporation of Chennai, something related to your road issues or garbage removal. For everything, we will have one single sign-on portal. And this single sign-on portal would be configured specifically for Chennai, which would cover all 200 wards. I understand 200 wards are there as on date. So all the wards will be configured here. And at least as a citizen, you will come to know what is your ward and what is your zone. So when you try to log in your complaint. And once a complaint is logged in, automatically it will be directed to the authorities concerned, and probably it will also be communicated to the councillor concerned. And if these issues are not addressed within a stipulated service line agreement, SLA, within a SLA, if it is not closed, then the system will have an automatic escalation mechanism which will take the escalation reminders to the higher authorities. And also this kind of portal will be mobile enabled. The mobile enabling a web portal is not big task today. Assuming we have a lot of new technologies available, the mobile enablement will enable the person who wants to log in an issue. He can also take a picture and then immediately attach in the complaint, so that the authorities concerned will have a clear issue of what is the exact nature of the problem and what is the gravity of the problem. So everything will be visible. And then this portal can also have some features like the like feature of your Facebook, or vote up feature like your Quora.com. So Quora.com, people when they find some question interesting, then they can vote up and then they can make it popular. So whenever a issue is closed within a stipulated time, or if it is well addressed and closed, then the concerned parties, whoever is the people living in that particular civic community, they can vote up and then make it as a popular issue. And what would be the investment? The investment predominantly it will be in the order of primarily the manpower. The technical manpower would be required. We may require some project manager and a website developer, database administrator. And the overall cost I have not yet worked out because we don't know who is going to take it up. So if it is taken by some NGO or whether if it is corporate as a part of their CSR activities, if they are willing to take it up, depending on their salary level, then the cost can be worked out. And operational cost would be predominantly the DBA administrator and then the moderators and then rent for the servers. These are all will be the generic investment. And what would be the expected benefits? Primarily it will be a very convenient solution. Issues can be logged from home. You need not have to walk up to the zonal office or a corporation head office to lodge a complaint. From your home at any time you can log in through internet. And then it is going to save your time and then effort because less manual intervention, because automatically the issue will be moved on to the next authorities. The workflow will be properly addressed. So you need not have to bother whether it is moved to the JE or senior engineer or something like that. And then since it is going to be mobile enabled, anytime anywhere logging, even when you are traveling in a bus and if you could see some pothole or some ditch is not properly covered or some road block is there, immediately while traveling in a bus you can take a picture and then you can log the complaint. And we will also ensure that whoever is logging, they have to use one of the available social media network credentials like Facebook or Google Plus, so that no one is anonymously putting some complaints. So we will find out the traceability will be there, credibility will be there. And since all these are available in the form of a database report, at any time you can take analytical report. These analytical report will help to find out what is the perennial problem. So out of 100 problems, what are all the problems that is coming out of Metro Water, what are all the problems that is coming from the electricity board or something like that. And again applying your Pareto's rule, or the 20% of the problems, they may cause 80% of the issues. So by closing these 20% of the problems, the critical issues, you can reduce 80% of the problems. So that kind of analytical reports would be possible. And since again all the stakeholders, they are all pre-configured, and then every time when an issue is closed and they get motivated by getting this kind of vote button or like buttons. So the authorities like the officers, corporation officers or councillors, probably as a councillor he can at the end of his term he can claim that as per this portal in the last 5-year term I received 1,000 complaints and I was able to close around 900 complaints within the stipulated time. He can go back to the public and then look for vote. So he need not have to bank on his party image or branding. So he can claim his credentials and then he can go and approach the mass. So what would be the limitations? So primarily to start this kind of portal we need a sponsor. That will be essential for kickstarting this project, and definitely this has to be done in a phased manner, like enabling the mobile cannot be done on the first day itself, so we have to divide it into different phases, and the timely funding of the project would be essential to successfully complete the project. And again, heavy promotion would be required because people need to be aware of this such kind of portal, and people have to constantly use it. Whether the issue is closed or not, first of all we have to create an awareness, and people should log in as many complaints as possible. And the important aspect is the portal should be very, very user friendly. Otherwise, if it is a complex system, if people have to enter so many data, then people will feel they will not find it user friendly, and then slowly the usage will come down. So it has to be as user friendly as possible. Probably when I mention user, it will also include the authorities concerned. We have to take feedback while preparing your requirements for this project. And finally, after logging all these kind of issues, the non-closure of issues in time, that will demotivate the users. So while kickstarting this project, we have to get consent from all the authorities concerned, and we need to seek cooperation from all authorities and ensure that these issues are closed in time. Otherwise, after some time, people will get demotivated. And then as usual, like any other IT project, the cyber attack would bring down credibility. We need to take care of in terms of the security of the system that need to be taken care. So this is a simple idea. So I think once we have the funds, quickly this kind of portal can be started, and that can address all kind of issues. For any other information, this would be my contact details. Thank you.